Barcelona have assembled quite the strike force during the January transfer window, and although the job is only half done, things do look promising for a club that was staring into the abyss just a few months back. Meanwhile, Lionel Messi has advised former teammate Xavi to not sign a certain PSG player who has been touted for big things. Arsenal have been spending good money on players in recent years, and the Gunners have already started planning for the next transfer window. One of the most historical figures of Italian football has passed away, and we need to pay homage to a man who helped Palermo return to top-flight Italian football. Fiorentina might have lost Dusan Vlahovic to Juventus in January, but La Viola have already shifted their attention towards the next big thing. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan, so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It is the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. The Giants of Firenze are now looking to the future by targeting a defensive reinforcement. According to the Mexican press, they're looking at the profile of a player who's currently under contract with Genoa. Mexican international Johan Vazquez is one of the finest defenders in North America, and he'll be torn for choice in the summer. According to reports, Atalanta and Sassuolo are also tracking him. His market value isn't that high, and with the money they've received following Vlahovic's sale, we expect La Viola to have a great summer transfer window. While they've lost quite a few players in recent months, Arsenal are ready to equip themselves for next season, which basically means that they'll be spending quite lavishly during the next transfer window. For some clubs it's heresy, for Arsenal it's a strategy. We're talking about letting players leave at the end of their contracts without bringing back any transfer compensation, and Arsenal have just let Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang slip away without compensation after having terminated his contract, while other players have left in the same way, such as Mesut Ozil or Willian. These players, who arrived with a lot of pomp to help the Gunners back to the top of the English Premier League, had very high salaries, and letting them go greatly relieves the finances of the London club. We will see what awaits other players who are at the end of the contract next summer, such as Alexandre Lacazette, but in any case, Arsenal will have to recruit players to strengthen their workforce. In particular, it will be necessary to strengthen the midfield and the attack. According to the Daily Mail, Arsenal have made contact with Napoli over a summer transfer of midfielder Fabian Ruiz. The 25-year-old Spaniard was tracked this winter by Newcastle. They're also looking at the profile of Ruben Neves, who's in his 5th season with Wolves. The Portugal international is available for €54 million, and Mikel Arteta would be given budget for that. Up front, the club is looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The Everton striker is going to cost at least €70 million. If that doesn't work out, they'll push for Sweden international Alexander Isak, who is going to cost at least €90 million. If the Gunners are able to bring in all these players, you can expect them to enter the next season as a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Set to be a free agent in the summer, Xavi Simens has decided to not sign an extension with PSG. The youngster has been hotly tipped with a move to Barcelona. At just 18, Xavi Simens has become one of Paris Saint-Germain's best youngsters. After signing from Barcelona in July 2019, the Dutch midfielder seemed to be just a rookie intended to please a man Leonardo knows well, Mino Raiola, an agent with whom the Brazilian often collaborates. But over the years, Simens has distinguished himself among the Parisian under-19s, a remarkable progression which has also earned him several glowing endorsements from Mauricio Pochettino. The PSG manager doesn't like to put out his starting lineups based on what a player earns, but things work differently at Parc des Princes. The youngster is unlikely to get a lot of game time if he stays at Paris, which was why there's been rumours of a return to Camp Nou. And according to El Nacional, Mino Raiola has made it clear to the Blaugranas that they have a chance to bring him back. Simens is a player that sticks to the profile sought by the Catalan club, namely that of a promising young player available at a low cost. However, it appears that Xavi might not push for a move. Initially, when the Barca management first discussed the idea with him, the manager was thrilled. However, Xavi also spoke with Lionel Messi about the player, and it appears that the Argentine has advised his former teammate to not go down that road. It's being reported that Messi doesn't feel that Simens has progressed since leaving the club. Moreover, there are concerns over the player's attitude as well, which is why Messi doesn't want his former club to sign a player who might even become a bad influence in the dressing room. It is indeed with great sadness that we inform everyone about the passing of former Palermo owner Maurizio Zambadini. A lot of you might not know who he is, but the late Palermo president was the reason why we've enjoyed some truly great players in Italy over the years. He was the one who first introduced Paulo Dybala to Europe, then there was Luca Toni, and then Edinson Cavani. All of these star players started their European journeys at Palermo, and so did Fabio Grosso, who became a world champion with Italy in 2006 while playing for Palermo. Zambadini was always considered a very complex human being with a larger-than-life personality. He was special because he was different from everyone. He was unique, not replicable. He cared about his own uniqueness, and he made a point of it. He played a lot too. He enjoyed when he was in front of the cameras. He enjoyed himself like crazy when, at meetings, he argued with his colleagues, but without rancor and without hatred, just for the sake of it, because after all, Zambadini knew how to be better than many others, a man who transformed football. But behind the facade of the surly man with sometimes disheveled manners, a kind person was hiding instead. At times irritable and brash, and often with nerves on the edge of his skin, Zambadini was definitely one president who always had time for the media and always ensured that the reporters went back home happy. Rest in peace. If you're a fan of Barcelona, you're probably fed up with this story. The French winger once again made headlines throughout January, as Barcelona's management sought by all means to get rid of him. If it is unlikely that the situation will change and that he will sign a new contract by the end of June, Xavi nevertheless seems to be counting on him, in particular because the player's behaviour has been impeccable and very professional throughout this soap opera. However, it appears that the plans of Xavi and Joan Laporta when it comes to the World Cup winner are completely different. Xavi wants to continue using Dembele regardless of his contractual situation, while Laporta is not happy with how the winger has dealt with the situation through his emissaries, who have not disclosed the name of the club that their client will be playing for next season. Nonetheless, Barca are in quite an enviable position. They've just signed Adama Traore, and Ferran Torres arrived earlier this year. This means that even if Dembele has to be banished to the stands because of being a contract rebel, the Spanish giants have enough cover. At the same time, the club's acquisition of Aubameyang is a vital piece of business, especially after Sergio Aguero's forced early retirement due to his cardiac situation. The Gabon international might need a few weeks to find his rhythm, but once he does, Barca will have a focal point up front and someone who can also play in the wide role. At the same time, the club sent out a lot of players on loan. Some of those players were not doing well at the club, such as Philippe Coutinho, who's now at Aston Villa. The club badly needed a good window in order to improve their chances of a top 4 finish. Playing Champions League football is essential for Barcelona's financial health, and with these signings, they can at least fight for a top 3 position, even though winning the title might be asking for too much.